one of the things that I was so fortunate about in this process was that we worked as a team. It was me, Adrienne, and Daniel, and it's a lot of like how people say it's who you know, and not necessarily like you need to know someone like, with $1 million or like whatever, but it's sort of about reaching out to your community and about, because each of us, like I kind of branched out and handled a lot of the casting. I knew a lot of actors who were extremely talented and could, give us their goods for free, basically, who would be excited at the opportunity. So being able to cast like a great group of people with a lot of talent and a lot of ideas, I mean, that's one of the ways you can do low budget filmmaking is, tapping your resources that you have available. And then Adrienne, from being a producer for so many years, she just knew, set decorators, artistic directors, she just knew all the people and could call in because she had such great relationships. She was able to call in favors. Some of the places that looked so amazing was because we had some really incredible art direction taking place. And that was something that Adrienne was committed to, was the quality. She wanted this to look amazing. And I know that she, from years of independent filmmaking, had kind of learned to get the most out of a situation for the least amount of money. And then Daniel, having worked in the camera department for so many years, he knows so many just incredible camera people. And also because of his experience behind the camera, he's worked as a director of photography so many times. He just knew how to light everything so that it was just perfect. And he got great lighting people, a great DP for both rounds. And I think really just kind of not always looking at things I have to pay money for everything, which of course you have to pay money for a lot of things, but looking at ways that you can create opportunities for within your community that people will be excited about, that they'll want to be on board, to advance their own careers or whatever. So I feel like the trick to Burns was obviously the magic that Adrienne did with the budgeting, because she is a miracle budgeter. She just knew where to put the money and where to cut things and where to, whatever. But more than anything, just sort of, like I said, reaching out to our community and our people and being listen, we're doing the best we can to create a product that is going to benefit everyone. And, do you want to be a part of that? Do you see the potential in this? And we want to give you an opportunity to maybe grow. Because there was a lot of people who, this was their first time doing something. They had worked in other positions, but this was the first time as for example, Daniel, being a director, he had worked in the camera department so much, but this was a step up for him. So we kind of did a lot of that throughout. So we got people who were extremely professional, but excited to do something that was, super low budget, because I think that the project looks so much more than what the budget even was. And that's, I think I have to give that to Dan and Adrienne. And in terms of me not feeling limited by the budget, I did feel that, I'd get ideas and I'd be that's I don't know how we're gonna do that, One of the biggest ones was there's a episode with the bookstore at a bookstore, and it was how are we gonna fake a bookstore? And Adrienne was we're gonna get a bookstore. And I was no way, we'll never. And she did. She went out and she found someone in the community who was willing to, let us do this there because they believed in it. And, takes a lot of run around and a lot of slammed doors in your face or whatever, but you just find people who are excited there. I think that people like to put all these oh, it's so hard and all these limitations, and it really just freaks people out, and they just think, oh, I could never. And the truth of the matter is that, whatever, how do I put this? That people will support you. That if you kind of go out expecting things to be so hard and negative, that's what you're gonna find. And then you'll get discouraged and you'll give up. But if you look at it as no, I believe in my project, I believe it's worthwhile, I'm excited about it, I'm willing to put in the work, and I'm willing for people to say no because I know there's one person who will say yes, then it kind of like becomes easier. You just sort of don't let that negativity sort of stop you. You just go out there with the expectation that you'll find something. And my experience has been that you do. Like, we've found a couple of locations that we just asked a stranger, like, hey, would you let us shoot here? And they were like, yes. Now, I'm not saying like just willy-nilly go out there, but it's just sort of like, if you really believe in your project and you know, you have like good intentions, I think that things find a way, you know.